do is choose any DSP collection that you'd like, so any scrapbook collection, and you'll need at least 2 different designs. And we love Stampin' Ups because they're double-sided. Now this one, the Affectionately Yours paper, is kind of a plain second side, but it still works, especially for a quilt. This is kind of a really good pattern for it, actually. So what you're going to do is take a 6x6 of each piece. So you're just going to cut it into fourths, the full 12x12 piece, so 6x6. And then what you're going to do is just trim it. So trim it twice into 2x2 strips. And this one I've already cut one of them. So here we're going to do 2x2. So we're left with that, and you'll have 3 of each one. You can actually make 2 sets of cards and have a little bit left over as well. So 3 different ones. And then 3 of each different style there. So you will have 3 of each. I have 2 of each because I've already made some cards, and then you'll also have some leftover pieces. Now what you're going to do, you're going to trim some Whisper White. It's 4x4 exactly, and it's okay if when you're laying your design on there, it's okay if they go off a little bit, because you're going to have your crumb cake. This is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So you're just going to take your full sheet of cardstock and trim it into 4 1/4 here. So that way when you lay your paper on it, there'll be a nice little border, which also gives you a little bit of leeway for going over the edge with your quilt designs. Okay, then what you're going to do, I have a few patterns that I've done, but what you can do is just take this, you've got to trim these, silly me. Okay, so trim a 2x2, so this is 2 inches, you're going to trim a 2x2, so a 2-inch square here. This is going to be the middle of one of my designs. And then what you're going to do is trim 1-inch strips. So we're going to trim. You want to get them pretty exact. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I probably should have done this before, well, either way. So then we're going to trim it into 1-inch squares. And if you have the 1-inch square punch, that would also work. I don't have it. Actually, I might. Sometimes trimming is just as easy, if not easier. So, plus then you'd have extra, like the border. You want to get it exact, so I suggest just using your paper cutter. Okay, so I've got some 1-inch squares. You can see those over here. And then the way that you're going to make triangles, you could use the diagonal score plate, or cut them with your paper cutter here. But all I did, it's not exact science. I just cut them from corner to corner. Now on one design, on this design that I made, I liked the little leaves going this direction and this direction. So if you're going to do this one, then you'll want to make sure that you have 4 triangles of each direction. So you'll have to, but the other side doesn't really matter too much. So I would cut it by this side and just make sure you have 4 going each way. So you can kind of lay them out over here. In fact, if you have your white paper here, I would just go ahead and kind of play with it. Either if you do it on a scrap paper, then you can leave them there and then glue right onto your card here, so it makes it a little easier. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to trim this one. So do it with at least 2 of your strips to get two different pattern, like two different styles of paper here. So two of those. So I'm going to make two different cards, obviously. So I'm going to flip this one over. I'll show you this one because this was the only one that had a little trick to it. The rest of them were pretty self-explanatory. So, and you can go ahead and trim this paper the same thing, just 1-inch strips, and then turn them into 1-inch squares. So that whole thing will be cut. And go ahead, if you want to get all your cutting out of the way, do it to every single one of your strips that you have. I've already made a bunch, so I'm not going to worry about cutting them right now. So I'm going to just take some of my papers here. These were some leftovers. So I'm going to play with my design over here. So this will be my middle, and then I'm going to have, let's see, these ones going. And there are so many different patterns of quilt blocks that you can really, I mean, you can make every single card something different. These were just a few simple designs that I found, and I felt like simple was probably the easiest, you know, to do as a class. I had some friends coming over, so it was the easiest to do for that. Okay, so then, let's see which way these ones go. Up and down. Oh, look at that, up and down. So then I would need to make sure I have two, I'll show you how to do that. So I need to make sure that I have two going sideways. So if I cut it like this, I don't know if you can see that very well. If I cut it like this, then I'm sure that they will be going sideways. So there's one, and okay, that one's wrong. So, so I'll cut one more. I'll use that on another card. I'll use that on this side on another card. Oop, wrong one. Okay. So this one I'll want to make sure to go this way. So when you cut each one, and this was like, I told my friend that was over, hers ended up not lining up, and I was like, I am so sorry. I should have gone through and made sure you had enough, but it was like hard math in my brain. I couldn't do it. It was too much to think with everything else going on, so I didn't do it. But it's okay. It's just a little 1-inch square, so I can just cut more as I need them. So there's my pattern. What I'm going to do, the glue, the adhesive that I decided worked best for me was to use the multi-purpose Tombow, just because it holds really well. Glue that on first. Use your Fast Fuse is my adhesive of choice to glue card fronts on because I know it's going to stay. Go ahead and use your snail if you want to, whatever you'd like. So what you're going to do is just kind of spread a little bit of glue around. And one trick I learned, my friend Julie taught me, is to lay it on its side, and that way you won't have to wait as long for it to come back down to the end. Okay. Oh, before I glue it on, I'm going to show you one more trick. So what you can do is take one of each side of these triangles, and they don't have to be in the exact right place. See, I'll even put this one down here to show you. But you kind of want to see where this is supposed to line up, where the square is supposed to line up. So I'll put these, just kind of put them on there. It does not matter, but I can kind of see, all right, so my square is going to go about right there. I even kind of bumped that bottom one. But even having 3, I can see that that's about where it's supposed to go. Okay, and then you can take each one of your triangles, just put a little bit of glue on it. I did actually try to just do it quick and just glue the paper in triangles, and it kind of worked. But I would recommend just doing it right on the paper. That way you won't have any extra glue coming out that you have to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to glue that one on. Anyway, so that's how you're going to do each one of the different designs of your card. I'm done with that for now, so I'll put that away. Obviously I'm going to finish that one later, but I wanted to show you some of the designs that I've done. So that one that I was working on, I hope there's enough light here. You can see if you look really close, the glue kind of dried. I glued the card and it kind of dried there. But you could even take your adhesive remover and just kind of rub that to get rid of it. So there's one quilt block. Then I did that same design and I just reversed the pattern. So there's that one. And then there is one with the same design and I used just the same designer paper for the whole star, and I still think it looks pretty, and I could have done the same with this paper as well. It would still look really nice. So there's that one, and then I did this. I have no idea what these are called. If you're a quilter and you're just laughing at me because I don't know, well, tell me in the comments what it's called. Kind of looks like a Chinese star to me. This one my son liked the most because it looked like a ninja star. So there's that one. And then I was going to do that same thing. I was going to do 2 of each different quilt block. But then I actually, by accident, just kind of dropped a triangle on there and came up with this. And I thought that looked kind of neat too. And I'm sure that's a quilt block as well. So there's those really 3 different kind of stars, or I guess they're not all stars, 3 different kinds of quilt blocks, and then using a different pattern there. And I actually really kind of like that. The more simple designer series paper, it kind of makes it look more like, you know, a grandmother's quilt or something. So really like those. And then those are simple ones. You can also go crazy and get really detailed with them. Here's a couple that I made. I found this pattern for a quilt block just on Pinterest, and I thought that would look really neat, but you know, maybe that one. And then I used the cute little scarecrow from the cookie cutter Halloween stamp set. Sorry for the glares there. And the cute punch that goes with it to make it really easy to punch that out. So there's that one. And then I also did, this one's just a little bit different as well, just to fill up the whole square instead of leaving some of the white there. So I thought that was fun too. And then these would make really cute teacher gifts, or a thank you gift, even a birthday gift, or just a I'm thinking about you gift. Just, you know, put 4 of them together and add some envelopes. You can either do, let's see, here they are. You could either use the crumb cake envelopes, which the card will fit nicely in. It has a little bit of extra space, but that's okay. So you can either use the crumb cake envelopes to go with it, and if you tied those together with a ribbon, like let's say use this burlap ribbon and just tie it, that would be really cute. Just tie it. That would be a cute little present, a little package. Or you could use the envelope punch board and make some square envelopes so that they line up perfectly with that. I haven't made those yet, but I'm sure there's, in fact, I'll post on my Facebook, if you're at the live party right now, I'll post the envelope punch board tutorial so that you can look, watch how that's used and see how that's really fun to make envelopes that go along perfectly with your cards. So those are my quilt block cards, and I know there's quilters out there that are really excited and they're going to play around with this and do some really cool quilt blocks on their cards. So go ahead and go to my Facebook group. I'll put the link below as well, and show me samples of what you come up with.